Okay, all of you? So we now have another bacteria, a fantastic bacteria called as Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Agrobacterium tumefaciens is a soil bacteria which causes crown gall tumors in dicot plants. तो dicot plants में crown gall tumor करता है and a gall tumor producing gene called tDNA occurs in a large plasmid called tumor inducing plasmid or Ti plasmid. Now what do you mean by this, sir? This is Agrobacterium tumefaciens. तो ये है Agrobacterium tumefaciens and it has in it a DNA which is the bacterial DNA and it has a plasmid. This plasmid is called Ti plasmid. कौन सा plasmid है ये? Ti plasmid, tumor inducing plasmid, and it has a gene which is called as tDNA, which is called as tumor inducing DNA. So tumor producing DNA is the tDNA and that produces a tumor in plants which is called as a crown gall tumor. तो ये है roots of the plant and root of the plant के just ऊपर ये है leaves, ये है stem and यहाँ just at the base of the stem it will produce a big tumor which is called as a crown gall tumor. तो ये कौन सा ट्यूमर है? Crown gall tumor and that is a tumor called as a crown gall tumor produced at the base of the stem. And this is done by the tDNA by the Ti plasmid of Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Now, how does this bacteria infect the plant? So, Goldenberg, the bacterium has an ability to insert Ti plasmid into the nuclear genome of the infected plant and gene transfer in higher plants through Ti plasmids are achieved. समझो, this bacteria, we take a test tube and test tube के अंदर we put nutrition medium and we take a plant cell. We take a plant cell, say we have taken a tobacco cell and we put over it cellulase. Cellulase will destroy the cell wall and once the cell wall is destroyed, now there is cell membrane and the nucleus of the tobacco cell. इसको test tube में डाला, we take the soil bacterium Agrobacterium tumefaciens and ये है tobacco cell और ये हमने डाल दिया Agrobacterium tumefaciens which has got Ti plasmid in it. Then Agrobacterium tumefaciens has the ability to insert the Ti plasmid in the DNA of the plant cell. तो ये है समझो प्लांट सेल, सेल के अंदर न्यूक्लियस और न्यूक्लियस के अंदर ये है डीएनए. द Agrobacterium tumefaciens has the ability कि ये tDNA को और Ti plasmid को प्लांट जीनोम के अंदर इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकता है. So it will introduce the Ti plasmid into the genome of the plant cell. तो plant cell के अंदर what has introduced in it? Agrobacterium tumefaciens has introduced the Ti plasmid into the genome of the plant cell. So Ti plasmid is rightly called as the natural genetic engineer of plant cell. The Agrobacterium tumefaciens is a bacteria called as the natural genetic engineer of plant cell, because what can Agrobacterium tumefaciens do? It can take the TI plasmid and introduce TI plasmid into the DNA of the plant cell. तो plant cell के DNA के अंदर ये TI plasmid आ जाएगा. And this is excellent, sir. तो sir, ये अगर हम कर सकते हैं, then the tDNA becomes a marker gene. Sir, how do we know कि ये tDNA has got introduced into tobacco cell? Sir, tobacco cell के अंदर हमने TI plasmid introduce कर दिया, उसके अंदर कौन सा gene है? If you remember, tDNA. tDNA will now integrate itself in the DNA of the plant cell, and इस plant cell को tissue culture से हमने cultivate किया. It will form a tumor which is called as a crown gall tumor. Crown gall tumor is a benign tumor. It doesn't affect the plant, but sir, it becomes visible. Crown gall tumor दिखाई देगा, which means we know that the tobacco plant has got integrated in it the TI plasmid, and tDNA, which produces the crown gall tumor, now becomes a marker. तो ये क्या बन गया? Marker, and marker बन गया, which is excellent. That now a marker gene produces the crown gall tumor, which means that the TI plasmid has got successfully integrated into the DNA of the tobacco plant. So who is a natural genetic engineer of plants? The Agrobacterium tumefaciens. And sir, तो हम इसका advantage क्या कर सकते हैं? We can take cry gene from Bacillus thuringiensis. तो सर, हम Bacillus thuringiensis से cry gene को निकाल के we can put it in the TI plasmid. तो TI plasmid में क्या आ गया? Cry gene. And now Agrobacterium tumefaciens, the cry gene in the TI plasmid is put into a cotton plant. तो कॉटन प्लांट में हमने Agrobacterium tumefaciens डाल दिया. It will introduce TI plasmid into the cotton plant. तो कॉटन प्लांट में TI plasmid आ गया, which means उसके अंदर क्या आ गया? tDNA. tDNA और साथ में उसी प्लाज्मिड में क्या डाल दिया था हमने? क्राइजीन. क्राइजीन. तो tDNA and crygene both have become part of the cotton cell, cotton nucleus. And when this plant by tissue culture is allowed to grow, what will the TI plasmid, the tDNA do? Produce a crown gall tumor, which becomes a marker. A crown gall tumor आ गया means it's a marker that the plant has got infected with the TI plasmid. But साथ में हमने क्या introduce कर दिया उसमें? Crygene. So now all the cells of the cotton plant have got crygene in it, which means the leaves have in there crygene, and crygene will produce cryoprotein. So cryoprotein is endogenously made. Cryoprotein is made by the cotton leaf itself, and now when the bollworm comes and eats, the cryoprotein will go inside, inactive prototoxin will become active, make holes in the wall of the intestine, and the cotton bollworm will die, and tobacco plant, cotton plant, rice plant, wheat plant, कितने सारे प्लांट के अंदर हम लोग crygene डाल सकते हैं by using the tDNA and the TI plasmid. So one thing we can do is that. Another thing we can do is put an NIF gene, a nitrogen fixing gene from Rhizobium. So now here Rhizobium is the soil bacteria. It helps in nitrogen fixation. So nitrogen fixation done in leguminous plants. So you have heard of it. Pea plant के अंदर Rhizobium produces protein. Have you heard of that? All of you? So what is the nitrogen fixing bacteria called as Rhizobium, and Rhizobium has in it a gene called as NIF gene, which is nitrogen fixing gene. तो हम TI plasmid के अंदर NIF gene डाल देते हैं, NIF gene is a nitrogen fixing gene and it is now put into say a soybean plant. तो सोयाबीन प्लांट के अंदर now we have soybean and soybean के अंदर we have got tDNA put inside. We put in the bacteria Agrobacterium tumefaciae. It will introduce the Ti plasmid into the DNA. तो यहाँ tDNA आ गया और tDNA के साथ साथ ये कौन सा जीन आ गया? NIF gene. And tDNA will become a marker. It will produce crown gall tumor, but the NIF gene will help in the soybean plant to do nitrogen fixation. NIF से बनता है एक enzyme called nitrogenase, and nitrogenase will help in nitrogen fixation, and nitrogen then become amino acid, and amino acids become proteins. So the soybean plant will produce a lot of proteins in it, and proteins की मदद से we can now have a soya full of protein energy. तो सर NIF gene डाला from rhizobium या cry gene डाला from Bacillus thuringiensis. Who introduces it into the DNA of a cotton plant or a tobacco plant or a soybean plant? Agrobacterium tumefaciae. It is a natural genetic engineer of crop plants. And we have got many genetically modified plants. Say for example, flavor saver tomato is developed by introducing an antisense gene that retards ripening. Sir, tomatoes compared to potatoes, onions, tomatoes का एक प्रॉब्लम है, tomatoes का shelf life बहुत कम होता है. Potato, onion you can store for weeks and months altogether, but tomato when you remove it from the plant, sir, tomato if you don't eat it within a few days, it will soon become ripe, overripe, and tomato सड़ जाता है. Why does tomato easily degrade? क्यों जल्दी से degenerate हो जाता है? Because tomato के अंदर एक enzyme होता है called as polygalacturonase. Polygalacturonase PGU कहते हैं. Polygalacturonase is an enzyme produced by tomato and it is produced by cell wall. Cell wall will produce the polygalacturonase. It will quickly break down the cell wall. तो cell wall को जल्दी से तोड़ देता है, and that is the reason the tomato becomes soft, the taste becomes खट्टा खट्टा, overripe, and it will easily spoil. So who causes ripening of the tomato very quickly? The enzyme called as polygalacturonase. तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं? We take a gene called as antisense gene that retards ripening by opposing polygalacturonase. तो सर ये है समझो टमेटो and ये है Agrobacterium tumefaciae. उसके अंदर we put in the antisense gene. An antisense gene with tDNA, and that is now put by the bacteria into the tobacco plant. So tomato plant के अंदर अभी क्या आ गया? tDNA, which is the marker, and उसमें आ गया antisense gene, and antisense gene will produce an enzyme which opposes the gene for polygalacturonase. So PGU gene produces polygalacturonase, antisense gene will produce enzyme which will oppose polygalacturonase, and tDNA will produce crown gall tumor. Antisense gene, which means has become a part of the tomato DNA, and antisense gene will produce enzyme which will antagonize PGU. So polygalacturonase बनेगा नहीं, and that is the reason the shelf life of the tomato will increase. the degrading enzyme, cell wall degrading enzyme is not produced, polygalactourinase नहीं बनेगा, and the shelf life of the tomato will increase, and such tomatoes have an additional advantage that the flavor is same. टमेटो सड़ेगा नहीं तो वो मीठा ही रहेगा, खट्टा खट्टा नहीं रहेगा, and sir, which means better shelf life and better taste, and such tomatoes are called as flavor saver tomatoes. So these are flavor saver. You save the flavor of the tomato, called as flavor saver tomatoes, in which we put an antisense gene, oppose the production of polygalactourinase and increase the shelf life of the tomato. And what are such tomatoes called as? Flavor saver tomatoes. Similarly, golden rice is made, which is genetically engineered rice with greater provitamin A, beta carotene. So sir, our rice plant के अंदर we put in a gene for provitamin A. Provitamin A का gene डाल दिया जाता है, and what will the rice plant now have? eDNA and provitamin A. And provitamin A, which is also called as beta carotene, and that is introduced into rice plant. So when the rice plant will grow, it will produce crown cord tumor, which is a marker. It's a benign tumor. It will not affect the plant. And what will be the rice produced in that plant have in it? Lot of provitamin A or beta carotene, and this rice is not white. It becomes yellowish in color and is called as golden rice. And golden rice में बहुत सारा vitamin A होता है, and this vitamin A is excellent. It will prevent night blindness. सुना है, in the deficiency of vitamin A, night blindness is very common. तो हमारे देश में जब गरीब बच्चे स्कूल में आते हैं, their families cannot afford to have vegetables and fruits which are rich in vitamin A. तो उनको मिड डे मील देते हैं, और मिड डे मील में उनको खिचड़ी बना के देते हैं, which is basically rice along with it dal, and dal will give them proteins, rice will give them carbohydrates and energy. तो आजकल कौन सा राइस यूज करते हैं? Not white rice, golden rice, which is genetically engineered rice is used. It is rich in provitamin A, beta carotene, which will tremendously increase the vitamin A content of the rice, and that is given to children. That will prevent night blindness. So beautiful example, flavor saver tomato, golden rice are all excellent examples. Who is the natural genetic engineer of plant cell? Agrobacterium tumefaciens. तो सर, प्लांट्स को हम लोग एग्रोबैक्टीरियम टूबीफेशियन से मॉडिफाई करते हैं. सिमिलरली एनिमल सेल्स को अगर मॉडिफाई करना है तो retroviruses have been discovered and are used to deliver desirable genes into an animal cell. तो समझो ये है एनिमल सेल, उसके डीएनए के अंदर हमें फॉरेन जीन इंट्रोड्यूस करना है. देन व्हाट डू वी यूज सर? वी यूज retroviruses. Retroviruses are the genetic engineers of animal cells. तो ये दो गोल्डन वर्ड याद रखना. Genetic engineer of plant cells are Agrobacterium tumefaciens, and genetic engineer of animal cells is a retrovirus. Beautiful concept, ये जरूर याद रखना. And now we go into an excellent logic called as RNA interference technique. Now this is a superb logic. ये आपके बुक्स में ये डिटेल में दिया नहीं है, but I would want you all to remember this. What is RNA interference? Pest resistant plant. Sir, बहुत सारे नेमेटोड पैरासाइट्स होते हैं जो प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स को इंक्लूडिंग ह्यूमंस को अटैक करते हैं. सुना है हमारे बॉडी में राउंड वर्म, टेपवर्म आ सकता है. Similarly, plants में एक plant है called tobacco plant, and tobacco plant के roots में एक nematode आता है called as Melicodinene cognitia. Melicodinene cognitia affects the roots of the tobacco plant and causes a great reduction in the yield. तो ये है टोबैको प्लांट, और टोबैको प्लांट के रूट्स में मेलिकोडाइनिन इनकोग्निटिया प्रोड्यूसेस बड़े बड़े नोड्यूल्स, एंड अगर रूट में नोड्यूल आ जाएगा देन द एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ वाटर विल नॉट टेक प्लेस, एंड एज वाटर कैन नॉट गेट एब्जॉर्ब व्हाट विल हैपन कि रूट के अंदर वो नोड्यूल बन चुका है, पानी एब्जॉर्ब नहीं हो रहा है, एंड दैट इज द रीजन द टोबैको प्लांट विल नॉट गेट वाटर, इट कैन नॉट डू इट्स मेटाबॉलिज्म एंड द प्लांट विल डाई. So sir, we want to save the plant from the soil worm called as Melicodinene incognitia. So sir, इसके लिए a novel strategy was adopted to prevent this infestation, which is based on the process of RNA interference, RNAi or RNA interference, which is taking place in all eukaryotic organisms as a method of cellular defense. हम यूकैरियोट्स में आरएनए इंटरफेरेंस एक सेल्यूलर डिफेंस का मैकेनिज्म है. Now, what is the meaning of this? This method involves silencing of a specific mRNA due to a complementary double-stranded molecule that binds to and prevents translation of the mRNA, which is called silencing, and the source of this complementary RNA can be from an infection by viruses having RNA genome or mobile genetic elements transposons that replicate via an RNA intermediate retrotransposon, and introduction of DNA producing sense and antisense RNA in the host cell. Now, sir, ये beautifully developed process, but in your SCRT it's not given in detail. Let us understand. ये बहुत ध्यान से सुनना, ये आपके बुक्स में दिया नहीं, आपके नोट्स में भी दिया नहीं है. सर, ये है टोबैको प्लांट, और ये है उसके रूट्स, और ये है मेलिकोडाइनिन M cognitia. At the moment we write that much, M cognitia, and it affects the roots and produces nodules in them. तो ये रूट्स पे जाके नोड्यूल क्रिएट करता है. तो सर, व्हाट टू डू? ये है वर्म, द नेमाटोड, एंड इट विल इन्फेक्ट इट एंड कॉज नोड्यूल फॉर्मेशन. तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे सर? सर, समझो दिस इज द टोबैको सेल, टोबैको प्लांट, and this is M cognitia. This is the M cognitia. उसके सेल्स, ध्यान से, उसके सेल के अंदर you have DNA undergoes transcription to form mRNA. So you have DNA undergoes transcription to form mRNA, and mRNA undergoes translation to form protein, and that protein is an enzyme, and that enzyme enters into the cortical cell of the tobacco plant, and that enzyme swells up the cortical cell. So cortical cell swell up हो जाएगा, which means big nodules will develop in the cortical cell. तो एक बड़ा सा नोड्यूल बन जाएगा. तो सर, ये नोड्यूल बन जाएगा because M cognitia, DNA, mRNA, protein, the enzyme enters the cortical cell of the tobacco plant, और tobacco plant के cortical cell में बड़ा नोड्यूल बन जाएगा, and that will cause water to not get absorbed and the tobacco plant will die. तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं? tobacco plant के अंदर we use a transposon or a retrovirus or a transposon. ये ध्यान से सुनना, retroviruses are viruses which have RNA in them. और आज ही हमने किया RNAs undergo reverse transcription to produce DNA, and that DNA is called as cDNA, complementary DNA. So we use either transposons or we use retroviruses to produce complementary DNA, and that DNA is introduced into the tobacco plant by genetic engineers Agrobacterium tumefacia. तो हमने अभी किया Agrobacterium tumefacia की मदद से ये cDNA अंदर डाल दिया जाता है। cDNA के अंदर दो जीन्स है, सेंस जीन and antisense gene. Sense and antisense. So what are the two genes called as sense and antisense gene? Now sense gene will produce the sense RNA and antisense gene will produce an antisense RNA, and this is sense RNA, this is antisense RNA, and this is now a double-stranded RNA produced. What is the RNA called as? Double-stranded RNA. So, sense DNA and antisense DNA has produced a sense RNA and an antisense RNA, which is a double-stranded RNA. Not given in your books, but you may remember एक एंजाइम होता है which is called as dicer, and dicer enzyme will cut this RNA into small fragments. तो dicer की मदद से ये छोटे fragments of RNA आ जाते हैं, RNA के double stranded fragments, and these fragments are made with the help of dicer. These are called small interfering RNA. Small interfering RNA, also called as siRNA. इसे क्या कहते हैं? Small interfering RNA called as siRNA, and small interfering RNA called as siRNA is produced, and small interfering RNA now attaches to a protein called as Argonaute protein. What is the name of the protein called? Argonaute protein. उसके ऊपर ये small interfering RNA attach हो जाता है, which is now called as RNA interfering splicing complex. RNA interfering splicing complex, RISC, and Argonaute protein now with the small interfering RNA forms the RISC, RNA interfering splicing complex. Argonaute protein breaks down double-stranded RNA into a single-stranded RNA. Argonaute protein double-stranded RNA को single-stranded RNA में बना देता है, and then the Argonaute protein goes and जैसे ही ये वर्म अंदर अटैक करता है, this Argonaute protein goes and attaches itself with the RISC to the mRNA. तो mRNA को जाके वो अटैच हो जाएगा. What will happen if the Argonaute protein attaches the RISC to the mRNA? The worm produces mRNA, उस mRNA के ऊपर ये Argonaute protein से RISC, that is the small interfering RNA के single-stranded RNA get attached, means this mRNA with the small interfering protein now cannot undergo translation, क्योंकि उसके ऊपर और एक RNA आ गया and it is interfering, so it is small interfering RNA, it will not allow translation of the RNA, which means this enzyme, this protein will not be produced, and once this enzyme cannot be produced, the nodule formation in the tobacco plant will not take place, and that means we have done protection of the tobacco plant from this particular nematode M. cognitia by this wonderful technique called as RNA interference technique. I hope you have understood that. We'll recap this again. M. cognitia has in its cell DNA produces RNA, RNA produces protein, protein enzyme enters the tobacco roots and causes swelling, that is nodule formation in the tobacco root. So, using transposons or retroviruses which produce cDNA, complementary DNA, we use Agrobacterium tumefaciens and introduce sense DNA and antisense DNA into the tobacco cell. Sense DNA produces sense mRNA, antisense DNA produces antisense mRNA, and the double-stranded mRNA is produced. An enzyme called as dicer will now break down mRNA into small RNAs, which are double-stranded fragments called as small interfering RNAs. Small interfering RNAs now are called as siRNA. A protein called as Argonaute protein attaches to the double-stranded RNA, and it is called RNA interfering splicing complex RISC. Argonaute breaks down double-stranded into single-stranded RNA, and single-stranded RNA now enters the M. cognitia, and the single-stranded RNA goes and attaches itself to the mRNA and does not allow mRNA to undergo translation. So this protein or the enzyme will not be produced, it cannot enter the tobacco cell and cannot form nodules in it, and this is an excellent technique called as RNA interference technique. So beautiful logic, I hope you have understood this well. Ye ध्यान से याद रखना. Save this video for remembering everything about dicer, Argonaute protein. ये आपके books में दिया नहीं है, notes में दिया नहीं है, याद रखना है. And we end the chapter with a very important thing called biosafety issue. Sir, commercialization of transgenic plants is part of intensive debates regarding biosafety. Sir, genetic modification of organisms can have unpredictable effects when they are introduced into the ecosystem. तो हम लोग ecosystem में natural plants और wild varieties के साथ genetically modified plants डालेंगे, it will contaminate the gene pool of wild varieties. उनके बीच में क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन होगा और वाइल्ड वैरायटीज से जीन पूल कंटामिनेट हो जाएगा. So the natural balance of the ecosystem will be disturbed. And consuming genetically modified plant may produce allergies. तो किसी को genetically modified food खाया तो आपको allergies हो सकती है, skin rashes हो सकते हैं. Maybe they are carcinogenic. They may produce cancers in the future because this is not a natural product. This is genetically modified food. तो allergies हो सकती है, cancers हो सकते हैं. इसलिए consumption of genetically modified foods is not advised. And in India, we have genetically modified cotton, BT cotton, etc. जिससे clothes बनते हैं या products बनाए जाते हैं, लेकिन eating के लिए अभी तक permission नहीं मिली है. and we have something called as the Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, GEAC. Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, GEAC, which will take decisions regarding validity of genetically modified research and safety of introducing GM products for public services. So, public services के लिए कोई भी genetically modified product बनाने से पहले approval comes from the Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, GEAC. And there are issues regarding biopiracy. Now, sir, there are two terms here. What is patenting and biopiracy? Sir, जब भी एक नई टेक्निक बनाई जाती है, सबसे पहले जब रिकॉम्बिनेंट डीएनए टेक्नोलॉजी बनाया गया, या सबसे पहले जब ह्यूमुलिन बनाया गया, ह्यूमन इंसुलिन यूजिंग डीएनए रिकॉम्बिनेंट टेक्नोलॉजी, then sir, a biopatent is given to the scientist or the company, which is a patent granted by the government to the inventor for the biological entities, processes and products, and patent gives the owner exclusive rights to the resource, process or market product and earn profit. तो समझो एक कंपनी है और वो कंपनी ने ह्यूमन इंसुलिन बनाया, तो the government and the worldwide government give that company 5 years rights कि only your company will use this technique to make human insulin by DNA recombinant technology, and you can earn profits from it for 5 years, and that is called as the biopatency. कि आपने कंपनी ने इतना रिसर्च किया, इतना मनी इन्वेस्ट किया, तो आपकी कंपनी को उसके लिए बायोपेटेंसी मिलेगी. समझो कोरोना का वैक्सीन आ जाएगा, then the company which makes the corona vaccine will get a biopatency, which means only their company will have the rights to manufacture corona vaccine for a certain number of years. If some other company wants to use their product, they will have to pay royalty to that company, and that is a good thing. It makes scientists and companies work hard. That is called as a biopatency. But sir, a biopiracy is the biopatenting of bioresource of another nation without proper permission of the concerned nation, or unlawful exploitation and use of bioresource without giving compensation. बहुत सारे कंट्रीज है, यूरोप में, यूएस में, they are rich. They've got a lot of money, lot of technical knowledge, but they are poor in natural products. And you go to Africa, India or Himalayas, sir, we are poor countries, but we have God's grace, lot of natural products. तो ये बहुत सारी कंपनीज फ्रॉम यूएसए, फ्रॉम यूरोप go to Africa, come to India, and they take one of India's product and patent it. कि ये हमने डिस्कवर किया है, and sir, they patent that product, and sir, they sell it worldwide. They do not even notify India. They don't even take consensus from the Indian government, and this is not a biopatency there. This is something called as a biopiracy. तो ये biopiracy होता है when there is an unlawful exploitation of the bioresource of another nation without proper permission of the nation, and unlawful exploitation using a bioresource without giving any compensation. तो आप एक कंट्री का प्रोडक्ट ले लेते हो, उनको कॉम्पेंसेट भी नहीं करते हो, and that is called as biopiracy. Can you imagine this happened to India? India में बासमती राइस, which is the staple diet of India, हमारी बिरयानी में आप बासमती राइस डालो, great seeds of basmati, they have a fantastic taste, wonderful smell, and even in our Vedas we have written that the best rice of India and the world is the Indian basmati rice. Now can you imagine what a company did? एक टेक्सास बेस्ड कंपनी ने 1997 में इंडियन बासमती राइस को टेक्सास के एक सेमी-डॉग वैरायटी के साथ क्रॉस पॉलिनेट किया, एंड and they got a plant which was a cross pollination between Indian basmati and the Texas rice plant, and that plant was called as Basmati Texmati. Can you imagine the cheek of these people? They named the plant Basmati Texmati and got a biopatency of that. And they started selling this Basmati Texmati rice under their biopatency, and this was absolutely criminal. The Indian government immediately filed a petition that how can you have a biopatency of Basmati rice जिसका हमारे वेदांत में भी लिखा गया है कि बासमती राइस is a product of India. So sir, this was not biopatency, this was biopiracy. Similarly, some other powerful Western companies patented turmeric and margosa neem. सर हमारे वेदांत में लिखा गया है कि इंडिया में आयुर्वेदा में जब भी आपको इंजरी हो जाती है उसके ऊपर हल्दी लगानी चाहिए, टर्मरिक लगाना चाहिए. इट इज एन एक्सीलेंट एंटीसेप्टिक. ये हमारे वेदांत में लिखा गया है. नीम और मार्गोसा सुना है, हमारे वेदांत में लिखा गया है कि अगर आपको डायबिटीज है, मधुमेह है, तो डायबिटीज में नीम के पत्तों को क्रश करके नीम का जूस पीना चाहिए, उससे आपका ब्लड शुगर लेवल कंट्रोल में आ जाता है. एक्सीलेंट अगेंस्ट डायबिटीज इज हैविंग मार्गोसा नीम लीफ. Neem, by the way, is the national plant of India. It is called Azadi Rakti Indica. And can you imagine our products, that is turmeric and neem, US companies took patency of these plants कि अब नीम के पत्तों का कुछ भी सेल करना है तो हमें उनको पैसे देने पड़ेंगे. Immediately our government filed a petition against those US companies and we got back our rights of turmeric and neem. So 3 products इंडिया में है, बासमती राइस, नीम, मार्गोसा and turmeric, जिसके ऊपर other countries tried to have a biopatency. We labeled it as biopiracy and we took away the rights of those companies and these products are freely available in India. तो ये हमने fight back किया. बट बहुत सारे गरीब अफ्रीकन नेशंस है, उनके प्रोडक्ट्स ये वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज चुरा लेते हैं and that is biopiracy at its worst. तो ऐसे बहुत केसेस है जहां अफ्रीका के बेरीज, वहां के शुगर प्रोडक्ट्स, उनको वेस्टर्न कंपनीज बायोपायरेट कर लेते हैं. So sad thing, but this is the way the world works. And so we have analyzed the concept here. So we have understood in detail this excellent chapter called as Biotechnology. Excellent logic, बहुत beautiful logical analysis किया हमने. Please read up this well. Very soon a full-blown test on this important chapter. So take care. God bless you all. See ya. Bye bye.